Breaking news for every Social Security, SSI, and SSDI recipient in the United States. If you receive monthly benefits, you need to stop what you are doing right now and pay close attention to this video. There is a critical deadline coming up fast, March 25th. That date could be the difference between receiving your April payment on time or facing a serious and stressful delay that catches you completely off guard. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to make sure you are protected, because thousands of Social Security recipients across this country are going to wake up in April, confused, worried, and wondering where their money is. And most of them will have no idea why it happened. But that is not going to be you. Not after watching this video. Because in the next few minutes, I am going to walk you through exactly what is happening, why March 25th matters so much, what steps you need to take before that date, and how to make sure your April payment arrives exactly when you expect it. This affects seniors on retirement benefits. This affects people receiving SSI. This affects SSDI recipients. This affects anyone whose household depends on that monthly Social Security check to pay rent, buy groceries, cover medications, or keep the lights on. So please stay with me through this entire video. Every single word matters. Welcome back to this channel. If you are new here, I want to take just a moment to tell you what we do here and why we do it. This channel exists for one reason only: to keep Social Security, SSI, and SSDI recipients informed, protected, and ahead of every change, update, and deadline that affects your benefits. We know how much that monthly payment means to you. For many of you watching right now, that check is not extra income. It is your income. It pays for your prescriptions. It keeps food on your table. It covers your rent or your mortgage. It is the financial foundation of your daily life. And when something threatens that, when a deadline sneaks up, or a rule changes, or a payment shifts, you deserve to know about it immediately. That is exactly what this channel is here for. We monitor Social Security Administration announcements, federal payment schedules, banking changes, and benefit updates every single week, so you do not have to do it alone. We translate complicated government language into plain, simple English that actually makes sense, and we deliver that information to you before it becomes a crisis. So if you have not already subscribed to this channel, please take 5 seconds right now and hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications too, because the information we share here could save you from a missed payment, a benefit disruption, or a stressful financial situation that could have been completely avoided. Now, let's get into exactly what is happening and what you need to know before March 25th. Let's start with the big picture. Every month, the Social Security Administration processes and distributes payments to more than 70 million Americans. That includes retired workers, disabled individuals, low-income seniors on SSI, survivors, and dependents. These payments follow a very specific schedule, and that schedule is tied to your date of birth, the type of benefit you receive, and the federal payment calendar. Now, here's where things get important. The month of April 2025 carries a timing situation that every recipient needs to understand. Because of how the federal payment calendar falls in April, and because of how the SSA processes its payment batches in the final days of March, the window for confirming your payment details, updating your direct deposit information, and resolving any account flags is extremely narrow. That window closes around March 25th. Let me say that again clearly. If there is anything that needs to be verified, updated, or corrected in your Social Security account, and you do not address it before March 25th, your April payment could be delayed, not canceled, not lost forever, but delayed. And for someone living on a fixed income, even a delay of several days can create a serious financial crisis. Let me walk you through exactly how this works so it makes complete sense. The Social Security Administration typically releases payments on a staggered schedule throughout the month. SSI recipients generally receive their payment on the first of the month. Social Security retirement and SSDI recipients receive payments based on their birthday. If your birthday falls on the 1st through the 10th of the month, you receive your payment on the second Wednesday of the month. If your birthday falls on the 11th through the 20th, you receive your payment on the third Wednesday, and if your birthday falls on the 21st through the 31st, you receive your payment on the fourth Wednesday. Now, in April, that schedule plays out like this. The second Wednesday of April falls on April 9th, the third Wednesday falls on April 16th, and the fourth Wednesday falls on April 23rd. SSI payments for April are scheduled for April 1st, so depending on when your birthday falls, you are looking at receiving your April payment somewhere between April 1st and April 23rd. That sounds straightforward. But here is where the March 25th deadline becomes critical. The SSA begins processing April payment batches in the final week of March. They verify direct deposit accounts. They cross-check addresses for paper check recipients. They flag accounts that have had recent changes or updates. They confirm that banking information on file is current and active. And if your account gets flagged during that processing window, and if your bank account information is outdated, if your mailing address has changed and you have not updated it, if there is an identity verification issue tied to your record, your payment could be held up. And once the processing batch closes, corrections take time you may not have. Let me give you a real-world example of how this plays out. Meet Dorothy. Dorothy is 72 years old. She lives alone in a small apartment in Ohio. Her only income is her Social Security retirement check, which she receives on the third Wednesday of every month because her birthday is on the 15th. In February, Dorothy switched banks. She opened a new checking account because her old bank closed the branch near her home. She meant to update her direct deposit information with the SSA. But life got busy. She forgot. March came and went. She did not update her information before March 25th. On April 16th, Dorothy checked her new bank account. No deposit. She waited. Nothing. She called the SSA. After waiting on hold for over an hour, she was told that her payment had been sent to her old bank account because that was still the account on file. The old bank returned the funds. Now the SSA had to reissue the payment by paper check, which could take up to 2 to 4 weeks to arrive. Dorothy had rent due on April 1st. She had already paid that from her savings, but now her savings were gone, and she had prescriptions to refill, and groceries to buy, and a utilities bill that was already late. Dorothy's situation could have been completely avoided if she had updated her direct deposit information before March 25th. That is the power of knowing this deadline. That is the power of acting before it is too late. Now, I want to talk about something that many people do not fully understand. The Social Security Administration is a massive federal agency. It processes tens of millions of payments every single month. And while the system is designed to be reliable, it is not designed to be fast when corrections are needed. When a payment is returned by a bank, it can take the SSA up to 30 days to reissue it. When a paper check needs to be sent because a direct deposit failed, it can take 2 to 4 weeks to arrive. When an account needs identity verification, the process can require documentation, phone calls, and potentially an in-person visit to a local SSA office. None of that is quick, none of that is easy, and none of that is something you want to deal with when your rent is due and your medicine is running low. This is why acting before March 25th is so important. It is not about panic, it is about prevention. Let me go through some of the most common reasons that April payments get delayed, so you can check right now whether any of these apply to you. Outdated direct deposit information if you have changed banks in the last several months and have not updated your direct deposit details with the Social Security Administration. Do it today. Do not wait. Go to ssa.gov and log into your My Social Security account. Update your banking information immediately. Outdated mailing address. If you receive a paper check and you have moved recently, even if you set up mail forwarding with the post office, the SSA needs your new address on file directly. Mail forwarding does not always work reliably with government checks. Update your address at ssa.gov or by calling 1-800-772-TUNTWA13 pending identity verification. If you have received any letters from the SSA asking you to verify your identity or confirm your eligibility, do not ignore those letters. Respond to them immediately. Unresolved verification requests can result in payment holds. Recent life changes not reported. If your marital status has changed, if a spouse has passed away, if a dependent has been added or removed from your record, if you have recently started or stopped working, these changes need to be reported to the SSA. Unreported changes can trigger payment flags, banking account issues. If your bank account has been closed, frozen, or changed for any reason, your direct deposit cannot be processed. Make sure the account on file with the SSA is open, active, and able to receive electronic transfers. SSI-specific eligibility reviews. If you receive SSI, the SSA periodically conducts continuing disability reviews and financial eligibility reviews. If you have received a notice requesting information for a review, respond promptly and completely. Missing a review deadline can result in a suspension of your benefits. Now, let me address something that I know some of you may be wondering. Why is April different from other months? Why is March 25th such a specific and important deadline? Here is the honest answer. Every month carries some level of risk for people who have unresolved account issues, but April is particularly important for a few reasons. First, April 1st is an SSI payment date. That means SSI recipients need their accounts to be clean and verified even earlier than other recipients. Second, the processing window in late March is compressed. Federal offices are finalizing end-of-quarter reporting, and the SSA payment processing teams are working against tight internal deadlines. Third, many financial institutions update their systems and policies at the start of a new quarter. If your bank has made any internal changes that affect how it receives ACH transfers, and your SSA payment is still linked to an old routing or account number, that payment could bounce. And fourth, early spring is historically a time when the SSA processes a higher than average number of account changes. People file taxes, people update their financial information, people make changes to their accounts. That creates higher processing volume, which means any errors or flags in your account may take longer to resolve. March 25th is the safe cutoff. Act before that date. I want to take a moment to speak directly to you, not as a news channel, but as someone who genuinely cares about your financial security. Living on Social Security, SSI, or SSDI is not easy. These payments are not generous. They are often just enough to cover the basics, just enough to get through the month. And when something disrupts that payment, even for a few days, the consequences can be severe. So here's my calm, clear, honest advice to you right now. Log into your My Social Security account today. Go to ssa.gov. If you do not have an online account, create one. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes, and it gives you direct access to your payment information, direct deposit details, and benefit history. Verify your direct deposit information. Confirm that the bank name, routing number, and account number on file are correct and current. If anything has changed, update it immediately. Confirm your mailing address. Even if you receive direct deposit, the SSA still mails important notices and letters to your address on file. Make sure that address is correct. Review any pending notices. If you have received any letters from the SSA recently and have not responded to them, do that today. Do not let a letter sit on your kitchen table unaddressed. Those letters often have deadlines. Budget conservatively for April. Regardless of whether you have any account issues, it is always wise to plan your April budget with the understanding that your payment may arrive on a specific date. Know your payment date. Plan your bills around it. Do not assume the money will arrive on the 1st. If you are on retirement or SSDI, check the payment schedule based on your birthday. Have a small financial cushion if possible. I know this is easier said than done, but if there is any way to keep even a small amount in reserve, even $50 or $100, it can make a significant difference if your payment is delayed by even a few days. Know who to call. If your payment does not arrive on its expected date, contact the SSA immediately at 1-800-772-1213. You can also visit your local SSA office in person. The sooner you report a missing payment, the sooner it can be investigated and resolved. I want to ask you something honestly. How did you find out about this deadline? Was it from a family member, a friend, or did you find this channel on your own? Because here is the truth. The Social Security Administration does not call you when a deadline is approaching. They do not send you a text message reminding you to update your direct deposit. They do not make it easy to stay ahead of these changes. That is why this channel exists. We do the monitoring, we do the research, we translate the complex updates into plain language, and we deliver that information to you before it becomes a crisis. Every week, we post new videos covering Social Security payment schedules, COLA updates, SSI rule changes, SSDI news, Medicare and Medicaid updates, and anything else that could affect your benefits or your financial security. And it is completely free. All you have to do is subscribe. So if you have not already done so, please hit that subscribe button right now. It is the single most important thing you can do to protect your benefits going forward. Turn on your notifications too. That way, every time we post a new update, you will be the first to know. Share this video with someone you care about, a parent, a grandparent, a neighbor, a friend who is on Social Security. Because the people who need this information the most are often the ones who are least likely to find it on their own. You have the power to protect them simply by sharing this video. Let's bring it all together. Here is what you need to remember from today's video. March 25th is the critical deadline. Before that date, you need to log into your Social Security account and verify that your direct deposit information is current and correct. If you receive a paper check, make sure your mailing address is up to date. If you have received any notices or letters from the SSA, respond to them immediately. Know your April payment date based on your birthday or benefit type, and plan your budget accordingly. SSI recipients, your April payment is scheduled for April 1st. Birthday between the 1st and 10th, expect your payment on April 9th. Birthday between the 11th and 20th, expect your payment on April 16th. Birthday between the 21st and 31st, expect your payment on April 23rd. If anything changes or you have questions, the SSA can be reached at 1-800-772-1213. And you can always come back to this channel for the latest updates. You deserve to feel secure. You deserve to know what is happening with your benefits. You have worked hard. You have earned these benefits, and you deserve to receive them without confusion, without stress, and without delay. That is what we are here for. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you have not already. Share this video with someone who needs it, and we will see you in the next one. Take care of yourself. You've got this.